Hello, my name is Rob Tarrant, one of the technical product managers here at Panasonic. Over the next few moments, I want to take you through the Panasonic P2 solid state format and how easy it is to bring it into an edit environment and to perform an edit. But I also want to be able to show you how to do an offline, online edit with that contents. And the reason why I want to show you this, in a large editing environment such as a post house, where you may have a shared storage solution, serving many editing stations around your building over a network. That network could easily be clogged up by moving high definition content around it. By using a traditional offline quality video content rather than a high definition content to do your edit, you can ease the workload of that network. So what I want to actually show you is to use the P2 card to generate content and store it onto this P2 card. This particular one is a 32 gig card, which allows you to have 32 minutes of high definition quality audio and video content stored on the single card. We are very shortly going to be launching a 64 gig card, which will double the capacity to over an hour's worth of high definition content stored on a single media. But before I show you how easy it is to edit the content stored on the P2 card, I need to actually generate that P2 content. So I'm going to be using one of Panasonic's latest camcorders. This one happens to be the HPX 171 camcorder. By placing the P2 card into the P2 slot of this camera and powering it up, I can generate some P2 content. Now I must admit, I am not a cameraman. However, every time I press the start-stop button of this camera, I'm generating clips, a set of files that represent the audio and video content. And I can show you those clips I've just generated by using the inbuilt LCD screen of this camera. So you can actually see the two clips I've just generated, I've just captured on this camera. Now to bring those clips into an edit environment, I can simply just take the card out of the camera and pop that into my non-linear editing. This happens to be an Avid Media Composer 3, but to actually bring that content into the Avid, first of all I need to select File, Mount All, to mount that P2 card as a media drive. This is a process you need to do with any media drive, and a P2 card is just a standard media drive for the Avid. To bring those clips into this bin, all I need to do is do File, Import P2, and then select Clips to Bin. Once I've selected that, I just need to navigate my way to where the P2 card is, and I happen to know that the P2 card is a Pana Demo Card 2. Click OK, and my content is straight away into my Avid environment. At this point, if I wanted to, I can edit my story directly off the P2 card and do a sequence and then publish that down the chain if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do that at this demonstration. I want to be able to show you how easy it is to do an offline version of my sequence, then reconnect that back to the high definition quality. So to be able to do an offline version of these clips, I first need to actually change my project to a standard definition project by selecting a standard definition 25i PAL signal. Then select my clips that I want to actually convert to my offline quality and select transcode. This will then transcode my contents to a lower quality offline version. I need to select where I'm publishing that, where I'm pushing it to. In this case, my shared storage D drive, and at what quality I want to actually transcode that to. So I can choose any one of these codecs as my offline quality. but I'm going to stick to the 15:1 offline. When I hit the transcode, it would take those contents, those two P2 contents off the card, move them to the shared storage, and perform a transcode, recode those to the lower quality, less data rate offline quality. You can see that now, that I have my original P2 contents stored on my P2 card at a full DVC Pro HD quality, and I have now generated two new clips stored on my shared storage at my offline quality 15:1. I can now, if I wanted to, unmount my P2 card, where you would see that the contents goes offline, and I can now take the card out of the card reader and safely store that somewhere. Store that until I need to reconform it back to the original high definition quality stored on this P2 card. Now, to go back to my edit, I can now use my offline quality video content and do a traditional edit. Now, I'm not an editor either, but I can do my in point, my out point, bring that onto my timeline, where it generates a sequence, my next point, my in, leading up to my out, put that onto the timeline. And just for fun, just do a transition between the two, a dissolve between the two clips I've just dragged onto the timeline. So that's my edit. Okay, this is a very simple edit, but in your case, once you do the normal traditional offline edit, and once you're happy with that offline edit, and you want to move to reconform that to the highest quality at a later point, you can easily do that with the P2 content. And the way you do that is that you can remount your P2 card by placing it into the P2 reader, going back to my file, mount all, where it's remounting that P2 card. So I can see my original clips are now back assigned to this project. But you would note that my sequence is still at the offline quality. To bring my sequence to the high definition quality, I would first need to switch my project back to a high definition project. And you would note that it warns me that my sequence is a standard definition because it's in yellow now. To relink these clips to the high definition clips on my P2 card, all I need to do is to select my sequence, go down to relink, then select highest quality and uncheck these because I don't want to generate a new sequence. I just want to relink this sequence to the highest quality. And now when I press the OK, it instantly relinks the contents of my sequence back to the high definition DVC Pro HD contents of my P2 card. Now this sequence, you can publish this sequence down to your preferred deliverable format and finalize your project. Thank you very much for your time, and goodbye.